So G for T, George for Title, did a video on the disappearing male worker. And this is a subject that I've been discussing here and there. It's something I noticed a lot more, that bothered me a lot more when I came back to Portland. And one of the things that I've said in videos produced earlier this year is this fascination for the schoolgirl look. And I've expressed how I feel like the history of perversion, sexual perversion in the Portland area, this obsession with flesh. During these hard economic times, there's a greater preference for a hot chick over a male. So men aren't the only ones suffering from this obsession with the physical that I've been referencing more and more, what I'm witnessing. Women also suffer, especially those women that are considered to be a 10, 9, 8, so on and so forth. So to complete the video, and that video from G for T is down below in the description. You know, there's like a question that's like lingering, a question that, you know, someone could ask themselves, why is this happening? Part of that question relates to why have some men given up on the workplace? Why have some men stopped looking for jobs at places where maybe they used to work years ago? What's changed? I'd say there's a couple of different things that have changed. One thing is consciousness is changing. As more people embrace the freedom-based lifestyle, they reject their old ways. And that includes slave think. There's a lot of us that have been programmed to be stuck in slave think. And some of us have gone through massive transformations in recent years. For example, a lot of us thought that, you know, there'd be a collapse by this point in time, and now we're starting to see that society is being re-socially engineered as we're preparing to go into the transhumanistic wave. And we have to adjust to these changes. It's a sink or swim situation. It's not an economic collapse, it's an economic crunch. We're being socially engineered. By knowing the name of the game, by knowing how the game functions, we can avoid being smashed, and we can achieve our dream of living in freedom and overcoming the attempts to enslave us, our mind, body, and spirit. So that's one thing that's changing. Consciousness is changing, and some of the men that have lost their jobs in 2009 have found that there are other ways we can live. We can go back and continue to be a slave again, buy into the system and spend all our money on rent and something we'll never own, or we can see how far we can take this freedom-based concept. So that's a part of what's changed. But here's something else that's changed that I'm not hearing people talk enough about. So as you can see, I'm trying to mix up the positive and the negative, so this video isn't entirely not negative. Now that we've covered the positive, one of the not so positive things is the way some male and female managers treat people in the workplace, especially men. And what I believe is that both men and women both have kind of a fetish, by and large, most men and women, for the hot chick, or the image of the hot chick, or the image of the quote-unquote goddess, or what appears to be the goddess, which is usually the sexualization of the female torso. You see it a lot in beer ads. Humanity is fascinated by the image of sexuality, and it's not always a conscious thing. And so, as a result, you're seeing more men get treated like shit in the workplace. You're seeing more men get passed up for promotions. You're seeing more men being laid off that are being seen as the useless eaters. You know, and you're seeing a lot more discrimination against white men in some cases, black men in other cases, olive-skinned men in other cases. It seems like there is a larger war on men in general, and it deals with our place in this world and whether or not we have any value. And only a pervert, only someone that has been programmed to succumb to the illusions of separation. You know, man, woman, that's just our physical expression of biology. There's so much more to what we are other than our name, our nationality, our genetics, or our sexuality. But lower consciousness is all about division, all about duality, all about picking sides, all about fermenting conflict. And so we're starting to see a lot of it in the society where male and female managers both prepare to have would rather have a female employee. And by the way, we're going through one of the most gentrified parts of Portland as we discuss this. And so it's causing problems in the workplaces. There's all types of competition between men and women, and for the most part, people are having a very difficult time with relationships. It's not just economics, it's the programming. So a lot of women are programmed, hey, you know, a lot of women are affected by this world to where they succumb to the influence of this world, and they seek to only be with the man who's got money, a man who can pay for things. And those are the men that are out of work, that are lower income. For the most part, they'll never date. It doesn't mean there aren't women out there that are, into drugs and lowlifes and scumbags. They're out there, but there isn't a large abundance of women that appreciate good men. So in the workplace, what we're seeing, and I'm speaking from example, more abuse. To get to the heart of this discussion, this video, is to talk about workplace abuse, where managers treat certain male employees like shit, so they quit. And there could be various reasons why they might be treating somebody like shit. I can only speak from my own experience. When you go public and you're an activist on Access TV, certain things are going to happen. Certain people are going to judge you. If you're just a regular person who doesn't do alternative media, you may still have certain experiences with bad managers, male or female, that don't like you because you may be male. But those of you that have freedom-based ideologies, if you share those ideologies at work, or if you are known to be someone that promotes the freedom-based lifestyle, you can find your head on the chopping block. Because when you're a proponent of the freedom-based lifestyle, you are speaking about ideas that go contrary to those that are involved in the business of maintaining that master-slave relationship. Okay, you are threatening their belief system, and you are saying things that they don't want to hear. Therefore, discrimination comes about when they believe that you don't really belong at their place of enslavement because you don't represent the same values. Thus, you have no part in being promoted because you are not a part of the collective board hive mind. Now, that is speaking from personal experience in the Portland, Oregon area. And there's different experiences that we as men have had. And I know that 4 out of 5 of you are men, only 1 out of 5 of you are women. And so I know that most of the people that are hearing me right now are men, and some of you may have a little bit of understanding as to what I'm saying. Now, for some of you that are still working the same jobs, that have become used to the way things are, and for those of you that aren't activists, for those of you that have actually been able to achieve a little bit of respect at your work, for whatever reason, not to put you down, but to maybe paraphrase the whole idea of keeping your head down, keeping your mouth shut, and keeping your mind on your work. Some of you have done quite well, and I congratulate you for that, and I don't down you for that, and I don't see you as any less valuable because you've held a job for years. I know what it's like to hold a job for 3 years. I know what it's like to hold another job for 5 years. And I know what it's like to hold another job for a couple of years. I've had a couple of different jobs where I've had them for over 3 to 5 years. So I know the pride. I know the pride that comes from being a good worker, that doesn't show up late, that doesn't call in sick. I know what it's like to be that guy. All I ask is that people show a little empathy for other people that have taken a different route in life, that have made themselves more public, to the point where a guy like Alex Ansary can be searched on the internet, and if a potential employer doesn't like the things that are on my website or my YouTube channel, I mean, I'm sure you can imagine how I might appear to be a little mentally unstable based on my YouTube videos, because the honesty involved in my sharing, the depth of the topics, and the controversial nature of the subject matter. We all know that it's considered to be mentally ill to be involved in various alternative spiritual thoughts, and to have a certain amount of conspiracy awareness, and to be involved in the idea of being self-sufficient, or the idea of prepping, or things of that nature. It is all considered to be something that is insane by the average man, by the average woman that is in management today. It's important to understand that there are certain people in management today that are doing the hiring. And there's a lot more judgment going on and discrimination than what most people are aware of. Sexual discrimination, gender discrimination, racial discrimination, religious discrimination, political discrimination. So if someone's discriminating against someone because they see them as a conspiracy theorist, that is a form of discrimination. How do you prove it? You don't prove it. You can't prove it, but it doesn't mean it's not happening. If a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it, did the tree still fall? And the answer is yes. So I want to thank G4T for doing a great video on the fact that the male worker is disappearing, and there are reasons for that. There are reasons why we are seeing men passed up, and we are seeing why some men that are waking up to their own power are choosing to no longer be a slave, even if it means that they're physically in poverty. We know that we don't have to be stuck in a state of poverty or victim consciousness. We know that we're more powerful than that. So we have the system becoming more oppressive, management becoming more oppressive, and we're having more people wake up that they don't have to be a slave. Both of those things are happening at the exact same time. And that's why we're seeing the disappearance of the male worker in America. Thank you for watching.